Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. Well, if you're buying a trailer or getting ready to use a trailer for the first time, I've got this video and another video that you really need to watch before you do it. The first video I did, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, was titled The Most Dangerous Trailer Loading Mistake. And that one applies to all trailers and it regards negative tongue weight. And when I posted that video, there were some of you that said, we thought you were going to cover this other topic that we think is the most dangerous thing. And I'm not going to argue with you because they're both really dangerous if you don't know what they are. The one I'm going to talk about today is the other one. But it only applies if you're loading something heavy that drives on the trailer. And I'm going to tell you my personal experience with it. And then I'm going to read you a letter from a viewer that'll make you really understand how important it is. So when I was working at the dealership, I hadn't been there that long. I was working at a dealership in Springfield, Missouri. And we had a really small lot, and we later moved to a bigger lot, a bigger location. But the small lot we had, in my mind, was level. I mean, compared to the Missouri Ozarks where I live, it's level. But there was a slight grade, and I never really noticed it, from the west to the east. And one day, we had a customer who was loading a tractor, and I was out on the lot talking to a customer. And this customer had had a tractor worked on in our shop, and he had pulled up right on the south side of our shop and was getting ready to load it, had the ramps down and everything. He was towing probably about an 18-foot trailer with I think a 3/4 ton Ford truck, an older Ford truck. It was probably I'd say a 90s model Ford truck, but a decent sized truck. So he starts to drive the tractor up on the trailer, and all of a sudden, and I'm standing about 20 feet from him, just not really paying attention to it, the whole thing takes off. Like there's somebody driving the truck, and it takes off down a hill that I didn't even realize was there. And the truck just took off. He's on the top of the tractor, and the tractor is going with him on top of it and the trailer and nobody in the truck, and goes down to the end of our lot, crashes into a bunch of skid loader buckets. Thankfully, they were there, and stops everything. He was unhurt, pretty shook up, not as much as I would have been, but he was okay. So that was the first time I saw what could happen when you're loading a trailer on a slope. And I have it really bad where I live. Most of the people that come to my house that want to load a piece of equipment, like if I'm having something worked on, will turn their whole trailer around while it's empty and head off down the hill. I live up on the top of a big, long hill. Common sense would tell you that if you're driving in here and you're going to load a tractor on a trailer, it'd be best to turn it around first and head it out before you loaded the equipment on the trailer. But when you do that, you're headed down a hill. And if you're headed down a hill, you're in danger of having this happen. Let me get to my letter today. It goes, "Hi, Mike. I'm a lawyer in Oakland, California. I represent a man injured in a chain reaction collision caused by someone trying to unload a bobcat from a flatbed trailer parked on a downslope. The exact scenario is in one of your YouTube videos. Do you ever do expert witness work? If not, would you consider it? If so, please give me a call. Thank you." Well, I hate to say this, but I get these letters fairly often, and I don't want to do anything like this. That's probably a way to make a living, but that's not what I want to do. But I did cover it in a video before. It's churning around in all the videos that YouTube has loaded up, and you'll probably never see it if you're a new trailer owner, and that's why I wanted to do another video, kind of a follow-up to that. So let's talk about what happens when you load a trailer on a downslope. When you're getting ready to load a trailer, and I'm going to illustrate this with a 40 horsepower tractor that I own, an 18-foot trailer, and my old half-ton Dodge pickup. And you'll see here just exactly what happens. As you're driving up the ramps, there's a spot where the fulcrum happens, and the tractor is on the back of the fulcrum, and it's picking up on the back end of the pickup. So let's say you've got your emergency brake set, and you're in two-wheel drive, and it's a manual transmission, and you've got it in gear, or it's an automatic and you've got it in gear. Usually the locking part of the truck is on the back wheels. So when you lift the back end up, if you're on a slope, there's just a spot there where the ramps aren't going to push down in the ground to keep you from going, to give you any braking. You're on the back of the fulcrum lifting the truck up. The back wheels of the truck are off the ground, and off you go. And if you've got a long hill like the one I've got here, that would be one wild ride. And that's what this attorney's client has experienced. Somebody was unloading a bobcat. The weight of the bobcat lifted up the back of the truck. It went down a slope. You've got a man injured, and if you got hit by a truck with a trailer and a bobcat on it coming down a hill, you could have hospital time and lost wages and all that. Lucky he's alive, but a chain reaction implies there was a lot of equipment involved. And you talk about property damage and hospital bills and everything else. This is a disaster that none of us wants. So how do you cure that? Well, first off, load on level ground. But if you've got to load on any slope at all, and I mean it doesn't take much of a slope, chalk the wheels. It's a good idea to always have a chalk block of some kind, and I like a pretty significant chalk block, and I'll put one on the inside and the outside of the back wheels. And that way you shouldn't go anywhere. But if you ever experience this situation, what you don't want to do is just freeze. And that's your instinct. And I would probably do the same thing, because if you stop, you've got everything poised to go wherever. If you drive backwards, you'll let everything down and your truck will probably stop you. If you drive forward, same thing. You're going to put weight on the tongue and the truck should stop. But if you've got a really significant slope, it may slide a long way, and the tractor could come off the truck, it could roll over on you. There's a lot of bad things that could happen. So the bottom line that you need to know from this video, if you're loading a tractor on a trailer, don't load on a downslope, load on level ground. If that's not possible, make sure you chalk that trailer and the truck. I mean, if you're on a significant downslope, I would chalk both. So there's no way that can go anywhere when you get up there and become the back part of that fulcrum. I appreciate you watching my videos. I would be honored if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me out a bunch. Just click the mic face icon and check the bell so you get notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fun Store with cool things for sale for the tractor owner. It helps support my channel. And here's a couple other videos related to trailering that you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.